Okay, hello and welcome everybody. You're watching the Gigabyte Dota Masters Tournament. I'm Triumph Man. Joining me is Gods from Absolute Legends, and you're watching Ritter on the Radiant versus DK on the Diner. This is Group A action in the group stage of the GDM. But Ritter coming off a fairly hefty loss earlier on. I don't think they really managed to get back into the match after the start. And DK, of course, a very, very strong Chinese powerhouse team, God. So I'm going to say my money right now is on DK just because they're looking so damn good. And Ritter was a little shaky earlier on.
Yeah, absolutely. DK are without a doubt, the favourites in this matchup. But Ritter, I don't think you can count them out. They have been playing, I checked a few of their profiles, some of them have been playing a lot of Dota 2. DK, of course, switching around Dota 1, Dota 2. They've actually just finished a best-of-3 matchup against World Elite WE, another Chinese team, in the, I think it's the Gigabyte Stars Wars Dota 1 tournament, which they won 2 games to 1. So they're going to have some momentum going forward into this game, but at the same time, they've only just finished. So they're going to be a bit tired, exhausted maybe, as it is starting to get late. And nothing too unordinary coming out with these bans. Lycan, Chen, Invoker. There goes the Panda and Brewmaster. Definitely a must-ban hero against DK.
Indeed, getting rid of him, and I suppose that's why AL decided to get rid of them and left the anti-mage on the bottom. We saw the anti-mage, the Handers of Burning was so damn scary, so I'm wondering if Ritter will take their final ban there and put that anti-mage out of their hands. But I will put this out there, Ritter, they did go into their first game against Aeon. They had a game plan, they were looking good. Unfortunately, Aeon just very solid. Very, very solid team, managed to stall it, play very well, counter it very effectively. And the anti-mage is still on the board, and the Dire have the first pick. Will we see Burning pick up this AM and cause all sorts of havoc with it? Who knows? But, well, they took out the last ban there from Ritter, and it's not.
They're going to go with the win run.
There we go.
Yeah, they're going to go for their sort of strong laning heroes first. They're not going to go immediately with the anti-mage. Against AL, they didn't first pick the anti-mage. They picked it up third, I believe it was. So they pick up the strong laning heroes to make sure they can, like we saw against AL, they went for the CM windrunner lane. They had a Lich anti-mage mid, but the first thing they focus on is those strong laning heroes. So they'll pick up the windrunner. Then with their second or third pick, they may pick up a hard carry. Whether they go for the anti-mage again or something I'm still hoping to see is going to be that Burning Syllabear or the Lone Druid, as it's just called in Dota 2. I really want to see that come out, as we haven't seen that hero being picked up yet in the Gigabyte Dota 2 Masters.
Yeah, well, the Silly Bear and his whore pet, I hate that thing. It feels like every single first hit, it's a root proc, it's a bash. It's so frustrating. But you're right, it was the kill lanes, especially the huge amount of pressure from that CM and that Windrunner in the duo, just basically shutting in Ricky, forcing the attention away from the carry. And I suppose if you give a player like Burning that amount of free farm with just about anything, he's going to basically bend you over and spank you with it. So yeah, the Syllabear, whatever sort of carry decides to play, well, you say Burning is indeed their go-to hard carry player, and it's very rare for him not to play that role, if at all. But yes, of course, both, again, Chen and Enchantress being banned as bear. Of course, they are the two best junglers in the game, in my opinion. They've just got that versatility. They don't have to just sit in there and farm. They can jump out, cause trouble, try and take names, take heads, and even push down early towers if they get given a weak lane. But Earthshaker being picked up along with Queen of Pain is the first 2 picks for Ritter.
Yeah, a bit surprised to see the Queen of Pain being picked up this early on in the draft. It's not a really strong laning hero, and when you know DK are going to go for those laning heroes, they're going to pick up maybe a CM, a Lich, something that can just give them some really powerful lanes here, maybe their side lane solo even. I think banning out that Dark Tier by ART was definitely a very smart decision. That is a hero worth banning against DK. They love to use it as that side lane solo, and wow, we're going to see a DK in return, very early pickup, so whether that's going to be their hard carry or not, we're going to have to wait and see. But DK is a nice sort of mid-game pushing hero, and it's a hero that does well against Queen of Pain, so they're getting some nice tanky heroes.
I remember, I used to, casting Dota 1, the DK was very popular for the Chinese teams. It was just basically, he'd tank up, like it was pretty much Vanguard's Pipe. It was his first 2 items, without question. It was just those 2 straight away. I know I've seen him a few times in Dota 2, with some of the Euro teams picking him, and often it was they would go for an armlet early on and try and even pick up lifesteal at some point. But I really feel that the tank, I think he just sort of got phased out in favour of heroes like the Tidehunter and even the Brewmaster now, just as sort of that frontline brawler saying, alright, you've got to try and get past me to get to my team, because he was, I mean, that's how you guys played it, AL. It was just DK up the front, beating you on the tower with his little sword, and everybody else staying like 1,000, 1,200 units back and going, alright, when you attack DK, we'll go for you and we'll counterattack and launch shit fires and missiles sort of thing. But Venomancer, the 3rd pick here, definitely a solid hero, decent push / counter push. I'm just wondering if he's really he's gonna need somebody else to back him up, because he doesn't have that much kill potential by himself if he's going for a supporting build. Because I mean, we saw that with Ricky. Just the Venomancer by himself didn't have that didn't have the power to back up the Ricky. So I'm hoping he's got a fairly powerful lane partner that they're planning to run him with.
Yeah, it's something that can be weak in the lane phase, so we'll have to see what they do. DK with the Venomancer, I mean, it is a probable support here. It's such a solid support here. It can get up those the venomous wards, the plague wards up nice and quick, and those level 4 plague wards, I mean, they're so tanky, and you don't even need any items to spam those, as they don't cost any mana at all. Ritter going to go with the CM. I think that's the right pick there. It's probably the best support hero to fit their lineup here, and it's not going to reveal too much about what they want to do with their last few picks. They can pick up a carry of some sort if they want to go the hard carry. We saw them use the Morphling earlier on. Whether or not they'll go with that again, or they may decide to do something a bit different here, as that Morphling didn't work out too well against Aeon.
I'm not honestly not blaming the Morphling there. Like he got a little frustrated, made a couple of mistakes. I forget who it was playing it, but yeah, he made a couple of mistakes. Got a little too aggressive. Said, "All right, screw this." Got frustrated, went in for the kill, and wound up getting taken out. But I think it was working fine. And during the mid game, they were launching a bit of a counter attack. Morphling was doing okay, but it mostly came down to the Crystal Maiden and the ES pick that Aeon had. They were working so well with their range. Alright, you killed, it doesn't matter if you've got to kill Tri-Lane, we've got to kill Tri-Lane too. We've got all these aggressive spells, and we've got the better range. We will get the first hits off, and that's what's going to shut you down. And I honestly feel the ES and Crystal Maiden combo much more solid than Alina and Sven. That was, I feel, a very weird pick to go with initially.
5 seconds.
So, well, Puck though, the next ban, interesting.
Team banned.
I don't see Puck banned all that often. Furion relatively common ban, along with Broodmother, but Puck is definitely an interesting ban.
Yeah, Puck's an interesting ban. I think partly they're worried about DK running that as a side lane solo. The Brood, I think, is a smart ban coming up from DK. Prophet as well. 2 possible solo heroes that could cause some problems around the map. Brood can run in that top lane with the Queen of Pain at mid, and as a result, that would just give DK a bit of trouble, as those heroes are heroes that can put on a lot of pressure. And DK, the way they like to play slow. They like to get room for their heroes to farm, so they don't want the other team getting these heroes that can cause problems, such as Prophet, such as Broodmother. And now Ritter going to have to think about what is left, what can they go with. I think picking up a hard carry here could be a mistake.
It could be indeed. I mean, really, DK have not really shown. Like, there's a lot of things they could go from with here. I think they definitely haven't shown their hand as to what they're playing with their line. I am a little worried. They could do with a bit more team fight potential. I mean, they've got Poison Nova, but other than that, Pug is decent. Of course, that ward during the early mid game is pretty frustrating, especially. Well, actually, I suppose Queen of Pain will not enjoy that. No, she will hate that ward. That will drive her nuts. Tidehunter does get banned. So there's that bully. There's that bouncer hero. Does get taken out. So they're not going to have that brawler up the front. It's not going to be a possible hero for that. But I'm honestly not sure where Ritter can go with this lineup. And I do agree, though, that I feel a late game hero would be a bit of a mistake. Just because DK are so methodical, so precise, I don't think they can afford to try and put themselves at that risk of having to fight with a disadvantage. I don't think they can afford. I don't think Ritter can afford to have any sort of disadvantage going through this match and having to sort of tough it out. And this Weaver pick could be a suicide solo, but I still don't like it. I would have preferred Mirana.
Part of me is hoping it's just a side lane solo. They get it up just to tank up with a Vanguard. But if they run that as their main character, I think it is going to be a bit of a mistake there. DK, they're going to go for the quick pipe mech, look to just pressure towers, get up an early lead, and just have that snowball effect where they get tower after tower, and Ritter-ART find themselves constantly on the back foot, unable to do anything. And a hero like Weaver is a perfect hero for DK to punish, because he can't do anything to stop those pushes, or even in early to mid-game teamfights, especially against the amount of disable DK has. So I'm hoping it's a side lane solo, suicide solo Weaver, and they pick up some kind of aggressive hero for their tri-lane. The CMES, I don't know what they'd go for. I mean, Leshrac is okay here. They need something with some ability to deal with this push that is going to come from DK. I think DK are looking pretty good based on this draft.
I'm thinking we're probably going to see a solo mid-line. That is my guess. I'm thinking the Windrunner might even get forced into a soft support role, just because I've seen the Chinese teams like eHome do that before. They take their Windrunner and use her as a soft support. And the Chinese are also well known for using a line as a solo hero, giving them those early levels, just because he's a pretty scary hero like that. And I think Weaver is also pretty vulnerable to him early on. Like, he can get that Hex, he can really get shut down hard by that Hex, a stun, and then the burst damage from Finger of Death, obviously. So it does worry me a little bit. Honestly, I would have preferred something that could fight earlier, had like a stun available in the Weaver. I think Mirana would have been a better fit. Plus, she just has that better team fight ability, like allowing an ES to sort of just walk into a fight invisible might be able to set something, or even the Slar to just get in position with their stuns with a good move, which just would have put a bit more pressure on DK. But the Weaver is going to be relatively passive, isn't going to have a huge influence during this early game. And I think it is a disadvantage they're not going to be able to come back from. I just feel that DK are a team that is just, you can't afford to put yourself in that position, especially when Ritter have proven to be slightly shaky.
Prepare for battle.
So we'll see, I guess.
Alright, we are going to have a quick remake. I like the DK line, and something we've seen from them quite often is that they do not run those tri lanes. I think they're going to go with a dual lane. Something we've seen, I've seen a bit from a couple of Chinese teams, is they'll do something like a Venomancer Pugna dual lane. Then they could run either the line or Windrunner supporting the DK, run the other one as a solo. I mean, yeah, like you said, Windrunner can run as a support, or they could run as a solo, put the line supporting the DK. There's so many options with this DK lineup, and Ritter are going to be kept guessing, whereas Ritter, their lineup a bit more straightforward with that. I imagine it's going to be a Slardar tri-lane and the Weaver as that side lane solo.
Yeah, I agree. I do think he's going to be that side lane style. I just really don't like it in this situation with the particular teams. I think it is going to come back to haunt them. I really feel it's going to come back to haunt them. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we've had a few upsets so far with Group C matches. Of course, Mineski, 0-3 at the moment, not looking too hot. They're not. I don't think they're completely out of it yet. They've still, because I mean the top four go through, but they might, depending on how.
0-2. They're just 0-2. I think they're only 0-2.
No, wait, they forfeited one match.
Both teams had 3 games.
Oh, actually, they've only played 2 matches.
And they lost another one.
No, I'm thinking of Dreams. That's right.
There was Dreams. Dreams played the other matches. Dreams are also 0-2 now.
Yeah.
I think Aeon are the only team who have played 3 matches, and they're currently sitting on 2 wins and 1 loss. So they've done very, very well so far.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, they lost to AL, and they played and they won both games today. So yeah, they are doing pretty well. Oh wow, it's going to be one hell of a bracket. So it looks like, I think Ritter is still saying, all right, we're going to wait. Oh wow. Just looking at the chat explode. The Chinese, I assume they're backing their team here.
Yeah, I assume so.
Are there plugins you can get to automatically translate stuff? I mean, if you can find a plugin for something like that, I should do that just so I can see what they're saying. If I can find a plugin, I'm going to put it in just so I can see what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I don't know if you could put it into Twitch chat or not, but yeah, it's bound to happen when you get these Chinese teams playing. We don't actually have a Chinese broadcast. We actually did have a Chinese broadcaster, but in the end, he had some strict Asian parents, so he's no longer allowed to broadcast.
Wait, what? Whoa, I thought my mum was bad.
Yeah, okay, teams are ready. But long story short, we did have a Chinese broadcaster, but no longer. We may look to get another one, but it's not really something in the tournament budget, I don't think. It's something if we get someone interested who's just willing to do it, which is how most casters get started, and a lot of most casters just aren't paid by tournaments. It's something we'd bring back in. So we'll wait and see.
I mean, hell, I love you Chinese people. You're fine. You're cool with me. I'm cool with you. I'm happy you're here watching our stream. The pick's coming out really quick. I think Bernie, was he 3rd slot? What was he? I can't remember. Who is who? Here we go. To bring up this. Okay, so Burning. He will be a carry DK. Maybe he won't go with the defensive build. He might go for the aggressive stuff we're seeing out of the European teams with the DK. Well, I guess we'll find out. He is saving money, so he might be going for that early bottle that you talked about before on the DKs. He's sitting on 350 gold and a quick 5-man sweep through their own jungle. The real thing I'm interested in is, where is this Lion going? I hope he's not
he's going to go top. He's got the Sentry Ward, so I think he's going to go top as a support hero, but use the Sentry Ward so we can get some farm and levels by creep pulling there. We may see something similar to what they did with the CM. They're going to do Lion Windrunner at top, and I think the Veno Pugna at bottom. Venomancer has the Obs Wards. He's going to try and block that pull at bottom, and I think DK is actually going to solo mid based on the fact he's gone for the quick bottle build. So my guess is DK solo mid, Windrunner and Lion at top, and the Venomancer Pugna dual lane at bottom. DK do not like to run tri-lanes, and those are some strong dual lanes.
Okay, fair enough then. Fair enough, although Pugna's still chilling out up here. They get the lane ward down just to watch for the TP ganks, always useful. Although, oh, actually, it looks like Ritter are going to be running a 2-1-2 setup as well. Crystal Maiden, and this is actually a pretty dangerous bottom lane. Crystal Maiden and Slardar can do some serious damage together. Of course, they have 2 slows and 1 stun and 1 semi-stun between them, so it's pretty damn scary. But I guess we'll find out what they're going to be up against. It looks like Solo winner, yeah, she could be in some serious trouble. She's going to have to be very, very cautious about where she steps in this lane. Is she going to get any backup? Maybe, yes. Okay, no, it is going to be a 2-1-2 from both teams by the looks of it.
Yeah. Yeah, 2-1-2 is the favourite thing, and it's going to be the Venomancer with the Windrunner at bottom, and that's a hard, like you say, CM Slardar, a lot of killing power, but the problem is actual laning power. They're going to get, every time Slardar goes in for last hits, he's going to find himself getting harassed down hard, the 2-ranged harass. And that means by the time they maybe find an opening to go in, Slardar is going to be too low, and DK are going to make sure they have the perfect lane control at this bottom lane. And then top lane, Lion supporting the Pugner.
Oh, Crystal Maiden bottom, probably about to get hammered, throws down the Frostbite, does get hit by the Venomous Gale, that did not last very long at all, is being slowed by that Venomous Gale, so walks straight to the creep. Oh, the neutrals are blocked, no, she gets through finally. And then, what?
Just going to suicide. I don't think she doesn't want to...
I don't think she was going to die.
That was intentional.
Yeah, but
she wasn't going to die, but she was too low HP to stay in lane, I think, because you'd have to use up all her tango. So it's one of those things where...
Yeah, well, it's faster just to walk straight out. You're right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was actually, in the end, it was a smart decision. If CM just lived on 50 HP, you'd have to walk back to base and then walk back to lane, or use up both tangos and then still only be on half HP. So I think that was actually really smart.
Yeah, and of course, it's so early in the game, she had no money to lose anyway, so no big deal. Yeah. And there is the first one. Ritter actually managing to seal the deal on that. I'm surprised that Lion managed to get caught out, but he did. Oh, what is this? Lion has double warded up here on top. Double rev wards. I think he's had a pretty big misclick. So DK already off to a shaky start. Interesting.
Oh yeah, DK a bit out of sorts. They have just come from a Dota 1 tournament, so maybe the mechanics is entirely different between Dota 1 and Dota 2 as far as actual control over the heroes. But DK have played a lot of Dota 2. They have been practicing hard, as we could tell by them beating AL. And here they are, off to a bad start, and those sentry wards being wasted early on. This top lane for Ritter, they're going to be very happy with how it's going.
Yeah, well, first blood plus the sentry wards being wasted. I mean, they'll be gone in just about 3 minutes or so, not very long at all. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, Crystal Maiden still roving around. I think she's trying. I'm not sure what she's. I think she threw down a. No, I'm not sure. I think she might just be stacking. Maybe I'm not dead sure what she's up to at the moment. Slardar, though, suffering from the lack of a teammate. She's just pulling at the moment. But yeah, Slardar, of course, suffering from the lack of teammate, is being forced to hang all the way back because there's a relatively dangerous pair of heroes. Of course, Shackle, Power Shot, and the slows. The slows are obviously quite painful. DK, though, has got that fast bottle. Bottles up a double damage rune. And Queen of Pain will need to be wary. Now, it looks... Is he going for an aggressive build? He is going for an aggressive build. Hasn't picked up the stun yet. Gone for Flaming Breath. Breathe Fire just to help him CS. And he's also, of course, got Dragon's Blood just to help him out. Now, level 4, where he might consider taking somebody out, has picked up that stun. And Earthshaker just spraying out those fissures up in the top lane.
Yeah, just keeping them as alive as possible. I think DK, even though they gave up that first blood, they're still going to do very well in these lanes. They should out-farm their opponents in top lane as well as bottom lane. They've got the ranged advantage in both lanes. Mid lane, DK will be bottling. He's got a DD rune at the moment, and DK should be able to pretty much be on par with Queen of Pain for last hits. So I would say, overall, DK, despite losing that early kill, should still come out slightly on top of the laning phase, and then they'll try use that to start pushing down some towers and increase their lead slowly and steadily.
I agree. Also, oh wow, stun goes down, double damage has been popped. Queen of Pain could be in trouble. Breathe Fire, no, doesn't have the mana for it. Also, a quick shout out to Chuck Norris before he roundhouse kicks me in the face. He's asking one in the chat, so I'll give him one. But in the bottom lane, Windrunner has not picked up a Bouncy ring yet. She's got enough money for it, but I guess she hasn't had a chance to get her hands on the courier, and they haven't had this lane pushed down. In fact, they've been bottled up near their own tower. They've been pretty well. Actually, I think Crystal Maiden only did a single pull, so that obviously would have stacked the creep waves and caused it to push right about now. As now Venomancer trundles off, looking for the 4-minute rune. It is a regeneration. That is a pretty big boon for DK, who's also gone for some fast boots.
Yeah, DK finding all these runes, and it's partly, I mean, not just because it's not getting lucky. They're having no support heroes check them out. Venomancer was there to scout at bottom hills top. DK would run top, but Venomancer.
I didn't mean lucky as in
DK gets these runes, and that's
lucky as in it's a regen. Yeah. Because you can do so much with it right about now.
Absolutely, and this is going to hurt Queen of Pain at mid, because Queen of Pain does have boots and bottle, but DK has just the same and 500 gold on top of that. So I don't know, a quick look at their CS. DK 22, only 15 on Queen of Pain. So yeah, with these runes, DK can outlast the Queen of Pain.
And actually, it's an interesting fact, like DK is outlast hitting her, even though she's packing more base damage than he is. Like, there you go. So I'm thinking it's probably just because he's spamming,
Flame Breath alone.
Yeah, he's just spamming away and getting those last hits in. Meanwhile, Venomancer and Windrunner trying to interrupt the pull at the moment. In fact, Venomancer throwing down a sneaky ward there. That's a very smart ward there, blocking that creep spawn, as it looks like we have managed to lose Weaver in the top lane. Gets taken out. I'm not sure what went wrong there. I guess Lion got the disables down, and then the damage there from Pugner. Wow, he's actually level 6 at the moment. He has gone for level 2 Nether 1 in the D-Crap, and also maxing out. He's maxing out the Nether Blast. Windrunner now, big force Windrunner away. But I would not be surprised if he starts spam. If he comes into this town and starts spamming Nether Blast, trying to cause some damage, although he's not really being able to get close enough. But he has picked up early art game boots. That really is going to increase his ability to spam like crazy.
Yeah, Pugner doing very well at this top lane, and he is, with those early arcane boots, yeah, he can spam like crazy, he can put a lot of pressure on. I think more rather than spam the tower, he's just going to focus on throwing those blasts on the Weaver wherever possible, because Weaver on 500 HP, that's like half his HP from one blast, or not quite half, but close to half his HP from one blast. If Lion can combo those disables as well, should be a fairly straightforward kill if Weaver's already lost some HP.
I agree. And it looks like Dragonite has not managed to find a rune. It's down bottom. Venomancer just guarding it. Actually forcing Crystal Maiden to back up there. Decides to just take it just in case. DK has come back to me. He's popped his ult as well. Looks like he might... No, he's just going to focus on farm. It looks like he might be trying to get an early brace or maybe an early urn. He's picked up one Gauntlet of Strength. I don't recall him starting. I think
yeah, he liked to go for the Drum of Endurance. I'm not sure if he... No, he didn't start off with it. I believe it's going to be for a Drum of Endurance.
No, he didn't start. He started with...
Yeah,
he started with Tangos, and Branches, which he's ditched now. But I've got to say, like, this mid-game... I'm not sure who's got the advantage. Do you think the nukes, although the stun there on Queen of Pain... I feel that Ritter is going to edge them out in just sort of the mid-game team fights unless they can drop. DK can drop some really good chain disables and just sort of annihilate somebody quickly with some burst damage.
I think DK should be okay because they are winning their lanes. They're going to get up the mech quickly on Pugner. I think we'll see DK going for a quick Drum of Endurance, giving them the mobility they need. And then I think even DK will get the pipe as well, I want to say. And with the pipe, the mech, the drum, their heroes are going to become very hard to kill. And even with this big burst damage at top, Weaver goes down.
And that's exactly what he said, like just textbook, Hex, Stun, Nether Blast, done. Yeah. Easy as that.
And the problem is, even with the big mid-game nukes, they've got the ES, they've got the Queen of Pain, they've got the Slider to sort of initiate in. The problem is the Radiant team aren't going to get their core items up, whereas the Dire team, they're farming really well at the moment.
I'm just bringing up the GPM, and they're also getting the push on the bottom tower, in fact. The Radiant struggling with this. There's also, I think it's a Dire lane ward down, just making sure they're not about to get yanked or TP'd or anything, or somebody running up the lane. And it looks like they're going to get this. Cool, the creep wave just way too far away.
Pushing power. And even before they got any towers, DK had a 3k gold lead based on pure CS and kills, and that's a massive difference in farm. They're going to now pick up 2 towers, so this gold graph is going to jump to about 5k now. And DK are going to find themselves in reasonable control. Pugner up to 700 gold. He's almost got enough gold to buy that mech if that's what he's going to go for. He may be the one getting the pipe.
Slider going for a kill here. The Fissure as well as the Slitherine Crush. As it looks like we're probably going to lose Venomancer. That slow is relatively nasty after the Slitherine Crush. Of course, Crystal Maiden waiting in there with the Nova and the Frostbite, bringing him down. And I think... Did they get a kill? No, Pugner and Lion just I think they've just rotated from top, and it looks like they're going to try and push mid. DK now just blazing through those creep waves. Hasn't really done that much damage to tower, but here we go, stacking on the damage now with the DOT, the corrosion damage, just going to burn this wave as well as the fact that Queen of Pain is MIA. Where has she gone? I think she's defending the top lane? Not sure where she is. Oh, she's in base. She might have been forced to go back or died, I'm not sure.
And this is what DK do really well. They just, as soon as they get ahead, they got those levels they need. They got some core items up. They're going to take down the tier 1 towers. They're going to look to take out tier 2 towers. They will take out the ES at mid. DK will pick up that one. DK with treads now. And they've taken out 3 towers in quick succession. The top, middle, and bottom towers all dropping within like a 1-minute time span now. As DK are going to use that gold to get up some nice, quick, early items. Lion with 1k gold. All their heroes will just get a quick, at least plus 600-700 gold each. And that allows them to get some nice core items.
Okay, as the moment, it looks like Queen of Pain has been forced to stack. Well, to stack cheap items. She's gone for null talismans at the moment, 2 of them. She's definitely feeling the pressure, feeling the pain right about now. She's going to check her CS. She's sitting on 38 to 8. That is definitely falling behind. DK, on the other hand, it's pretty decent. 48. It's not huge. 48 and 50 or so at 10 minutes. That's pretty damn good. It's not super out of control. It looks like we're going to lose Venomance, but at the same time, he does have 3 towers at 10 minutes. That is big. 3 towers, like, you disagree, guys.
Yeah.
3 towers at 10 minutes is huge, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, especially considering that there haven't been any towers taken by Ritter. Ritter slowly picking up some core items. I like what Ritter are doing though. They're not trying to get up their big items. They're just going for these cheap early game items. We see 2 braces on Slardar. Queen of Pain going for 2 null talismans. These early cheap game items are going to be what they need to defend these pushes. Just get whatever they can, because if they don't fight now, DK are just going to get further and further ahead. So they're saying, okay, we're behind, and DK is so methodical that they'll just use that slight advantage to get further ahead. So they're doing all they can, and they're going to have to start finding some clashes and trying to get the position they need to make things go their way.
Indeed, indeed. And it looks like DK now going to pressure this bottom tower. Will Ritter respond? They've got 3 down here, but they're up against 5. Not much that they can do by themselves. DK again. Honestly, DK could be talking about Dragon Knight or the team itself. But Dragon Knight popping his ult, just going to corrode that tower as much as he can. Shackle goes through. Doesn't latch though. If that had a latch, they might have actually jumped it, but it looks like it's not going to matter. I like these wards placed from the Plague Wards from the Venomance. They're very, very smart. Just watching their backside, making sure nothing's coming in. And up here as well, just providing so much vision.
Yeah, and
really, really good stuff.
They've got the map control with the Venomance, the Plague Wards. They've now got the drum up on DK, mech on Pugna, and this unstoppable pushing force. They can go take Roshan now if they want. They could go push middle, top tower. They can pretty much do anything they want. And Ritter, without the items they need to fight, because DK have just got too much gold split between their heroes.
Indeed, indeed. Meanwhile, what's up here? I really feel this was the... I mean, you agree too, that it was the Weaver was just... Oh, this would haunt them. Just the fact that they need... Like you said, like their heroes are buying cheap items to fight, and yet Weaver is up here farming, because he can't fight. He's got nothing. Which I feel like a Miranda, like a 5-second stun, a utility ultimate, a good AoE nuke. It would have done the Suicide Solo job, and it was still... I mean, she still would have had a rough time. Line is not much fun, but I still feel that they'd be in a better position than they are now, where they've got one hero who literally doesn't do much, although finally got a kill with the aid of Queen of Pain. I think she dropped her ult, so it really was just Weaver picking up the last hit there.
Yeah, Venomance being a common tactic going down, but killing the main support of your opponent's team is not really a big boost to your team. So despite the kill scores being 4 to 5, Ritter are very far behind, and those kills have not really helped their cause at all. Whereas some of these kills that the Dire team have gotten... Oh, they've killed the Weaver twice. They've killed Slardar. I mean, these kills are much more important. And now, DK taking out the tier 2 mid tower. Going to back off. DK finds another rune, and yeah, this is getting very, very one-sided, I feel.
They did have to trade it though. Ritter did the smart thing, said, alright, well, you know what, we can't defend this. Unless they're pushing the racks, let's just go top, get a gank off, and push this tower. Trade, of course, tier 1 tower, not as valuable as the tier 2, and of course, DK aren't really making use of that lane to farm, so the safe lane doesn't really matter too much, but tier 1, it's better than nothing. It's better than sitting in the base, twiddling their thumbs, or trying to engage in a battle that they're obviously going to lose. Now, Windrunner has picked up a 4th staff. She's looking more dangerous and more dangerous. She has also got phase boot, so she's got a lot of early damage. She's got a fair amount of early damage. And of course nuke as well, so she's looking pretty scary. I think they've just spotted... Queen of Pain was spotted up coming across the low ground there. They know that Ritter are trying to make a push on this top tower. Will DK respond? Looks like they are. The Dragon Knight's also moving up. Lion is here in the jungle. If he's not careful, he might get jumped. Although, wait! 3v4 at the moment are going to go in. Although Pugna is they're just scouting actually. And they're actually... Ritter are deciding, you know what, we don't want to engage this, let's pull out. And again... Oh, wait, no, they didn't even have Slardar up there. It was Weaver up there. Slardar is bottom trying to catch up on his farm. And stacking mass braces.
I mean, yeah, there's just not much you can do. He's probably going to pick up some treads now, but DK getting up all their core items, all these really useful utility items. Windrunner with the 4 staff. Venomance is actually going to go for the medallion, and that'll help them take out Roshan as well. Whenever there's a team fight, whoever they focus, pop the medallion on them, they'll go down a lot quicker. So it's a nice item to get. Pugna, I believe, Pugna also going for a 4 staff now. So I think, Pugna's actually finished his 4 staff. So they've got a couple 4 staffs. They've got the mech, they've got the drums, and I think DK will go for a pipe at this rate. He's got the cloak, and once DK has pipe, that's when that's when the Team DK can actually look to push on in with maybe an Aegis and take down the ranks.
Indeed. Now I'm just looking at Weaver, still struggling here. Has managed to... The question is, will he go for a full-on...